Now we're turning to the southeast, where the rebuilding after Hurricanes Helene and Milton is ongoing. Today marks 6 weeks since a Quad City company took off for North Carolina and Florida. We caught up with Squirrels Tree Care with what they're seeing on the ground and how long they expect to be down south helping out. It's new tonight here on The Current. We are joined by John Steiniger of Squirrels Tree Care all the way down in Florida. John, thank you so much for making time for us.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Why don't you tell people what date you left the Quad Cities and where you've been since?
Oh boy. So we actually left on the 17th of this last month. And we've been gone ever since. And we left and we headed for North Carolina, where we got called in by a contractor out of North Carolina looking for assistance with cranes. Before we left, a good friend of mine owns Two Brothers Tree Service out of Geneseo, Illinois. And him and I came together. We put together 2 truckloads of goods and water bottles. We brought 2 cases of water, or I'm sorry, 2 pallets of water. We brought a bunch of different non-perishable foods and items, paper towels, toilet paper, all your essential needs to hand out to these people in these disaster areas, because at the end of the day they lost everything they needed. So it's not really so much just our skill set, but what we bring to the table is our genuineness to come in and help.
Well, what are you guys seeing down there? What is the scenes like for these people in North Carolina and Florida?
Well, so North Carolina was really devastated by the flooding and the water damage and all of that. I mean, they don't get hurricanes there. We were up in a place called Black Mountain, North Carolina, and the roads were washed out. You could hear the water rushing under the roads. You could walk on it. It sounded like you were walking on a hardwood floor. So it was, really, really difficult to see the amount of devastation there. There was people being flown out by helicopters, all kinds of things. It was very interesting. Now, Florida, on the other hand, it's your typical hurricane. Lots of wind, lots of rain. There was some flooding, some lower lining areas, the homes were flooded and all their belongings are just gone. They don't have, their clothing anymore, or their beds or their couches or any of that stuff. They lost all their appliances. Down here, there's more wind damage. So you have more trees on structures, which is where we're, really needed. But yeah, it's a completely different ball game between Florida and North Carolina as far as damages go.
So I know you can't fully predict this, but when do you estimate you guys will come back to the Quad Cities?
Man, I've been wrong at that so many times now. The thing about right now is I'm working on a job site right now where there was a tree on a house for the last 2 weeks. Multiple contractors came in and tried to do it. They couldn't do it. They couldn't accomplish it. So the company that I'm contracted through right now said, "Hey, we're not sure you can do it, but if you can get it done." And I showed up, assessed the situation, looked at it. I'm like, "Oh yeah, we can do this." So we're out here doing the jobs that the people who rushed in to help in the beginning may not have been equipped or qualified to do. We're still hanging around. We're in the area still. Honestly, I think it's one of those things where you could stay as long as you wanted to and the work would still be here. But obviously we would love to be home to our families before the holidays.
Oh man, John, you've done a lot of storm recovery work over the years.
Yeah,
I just thank you so much for what you're doing right now. I mean, that's incredible.
absolutely. Well, thank you for listening to us and as always following what we're up to.
Now, we didn't have time to mention it, but if you're curious what makes squirrels' cranes particularly helpful in disaster zones, you can head over to our website and the As Seen on TV tab.